Alright, here we have the first official project for Killer Dachshund Customs. This is a 1973 Honda 350 4-cylinder, which is a rather rare bike. We've done a whole lot to it. It looks quite a bit nothing like it started out as, and I'll attach some pictures into this video to show what it started like. I didn't want to go full cafe racer on it, but I wanted to take some of the ideas from cafe racer styling. So one of the first hurdles to go through was over here. We originally have the side covers, and then underneath is all the electronics, and then the air box and the big air chamber. And this right here, it was a mess. And so basically the idea was to pull all the electronics, pull the air box, and move everything up underneath the seat. We went ahead and went down to these K&N pod style filters on the carburetor, which removed that whole air box, which removed the whole factory air assembly. And the original idea was to have this completely open. However, the battery I wanted to use for that was actually for a security camera. It would mount underneath the seat. However, those have been back ordered for forever, so I went ahead and ordered a regular battery and then fabricated a battery mount. Eventually the next owner can put a battery up under a cafe racer style seat or something else, and then this area would be completely open. Completely tore the entire bike down to the frame, cleaned and built the motor up, took the tank, obviously repainted that, removed all the factory metal up here. There was a set of big ears and covers for the forks, removed that and got some aftermarket parts. For the signals, we painted black the stock turn signals in the front, which worked out really well because they threaded into the headlight housing. And whereas originally on the ears they had their own separate little mount. Sort of the cafe style here, we're going with no fender in the front, so we had to come up with some mounting locations for the cables. And speaking of cables, all cables and hoses, they're all completely brand new, and they've also been sized 10 inches over. That way the next owner, since the next owner is a bit taller than I am, can actually add some custom bars that are a lot higher. And so he has a lot of room to play there. Completely rebuilt the brake system, changed the color scheme on the engine, put on a new muffler, and cleaned up and fixed the exhaust. Originally it had a different muffler set up here that was, to be honest, just quite awful looking. Powder coated the frame, went for a copper, and so tried to keep kind of a copper black theme with some of the important engine and brake components being left silver. And then well, you can see here, this is the battery that's being used, and as soon as the next owner wants to move the battery, they can, and this will be completely open. The rear end, took the factory chrome fender and buzzed down all the chrome and went ahead and painted that black. Removed the factory turn signals, and there was a very large factory brake light. I want to say it came out about this far and was about this wide. Went to an aftermarket LED setup, and this integrates both the turn signals and the brake lights into one unit. This is how this one looks. Up here on the dash, there's originally a large clamp here that has built into it a box with all the different idiot lights into it. Oil pressure, turn signal, neutral lights, all of that, but it was kind of big and bulky, so I picked up an extra one off a Honda 350, and I cut the center of it out and shaped and ground down the mounts and put this back, and then eliminated that whole system up here just for kind of a cleaner look. This will also be nice and clean if the next owner wants to put any different type of bars on here. Went with later model Yamaha mirrors instead of the kind of the stock tall and round Honda. The next owner, he wanted a flat black, so we went kind of with a matte black here. He didn't want the badges put back on. So there's no factory badges. He also, if you notice the seat, I didn't completely rebuild the seat. He plans on putting a cafe style or at least some sort of different seat on here, so I just left the stock seat. This was an interesting build from the ground up. There wasn't a single bolt not turned on this bike. Thank you for watching.